Have you ever wondered why your financial struggles seem so intense, as if they're harder to overcome than for others? It's no coincidence. Every obstacle, every difficulty is a sign, a subtle message that you are being prepared for something extraordinary. What you're facing today is not a punishment, it's a calling. A divine invitation to look beyond what is visible, to see the greater purpose that is being built through your experiences. Imagine your life as a work of art in progress. The artist, who is God, works carefully, each brushstroke seeming confusing up close, but contributing to a picture that will only be fully understood from a distance. The financial struggles you face now are like the shadows in that piece of art. They create depth, contrast, and a beauty that you can't fully see just yet. Each challenge carries within it the seed of growth. Perhaps you felt that these difficulties are testing not only your patience but also your faith. That happens because you've been called to something greater, something that requires a character forged in the fire of trials. Think about it. Precious stones are formed under pressure, gold is purified in extreme heat, and you, as the chosen one, are undergoing a similar process. These struggles are more than they seem. They are signs that your journey is not ordinary. They are reminders that a greater force is shaping you, preparing you for a purpose that goes beyond what you can imagine right now. Even when it seems like everything is falling apart, know that every piece is being rearranged with a purpose. You are not alone in this experience. Many who carry a special calling face similar difficulties. This is not a coincidence, it's a pattern. The greatest stories of redemption and triumph begin in times of struggle. These stories would not be possible without the challenges that shaped them. You are at the beginning of one of those stories. The end is still being written, and it will be grand. Money is more than bills and numbers. It is an energy that flows through the universe, a tangible expression of intentions, exchanges, and values. For the chosen ones, the relationship with this energy is profoundly unique. You feel this, don't you? Money, for you, has never been just a goal, but something filled with meaning, something that goes beyond the superficial. Imagine money as the wind. Invisible but essential to move the sails of a boat. The wind, just like money, has no fixed form, but responds to the forces around it, moving in cycles, interacting with our intentions, beliefs, and choices. For the chosen, this energy has a deeper meaning because their spiritual sensitivity allows them to see what many do not. However, this sensitivity often creates a paradox. While others may focus exclusively on accumulating wealth, the chosen see that money is just a tool, a means to something greater. This discernment can make the pursuit of material wealth in the conventional way more difficult because your heart knows that there are more important things than numbers in a bank account. And yet, the lack of money can bring frustration, doubt, and even guilt. You ask yourself, why, if I am so spiritually connected, does it seem so hard to prosper financially? The answer lies in how you interact with this energy. For the chosen, money is not an end, but an extension of purpose. It is not an isolated goal, but a consequence of living in alignment with who you truly are. Your journey is different because you were called to balance. You were not born to choose between spirituality and prosperity, but to find a path where both coexist. This journey begins with the understanding that money, as energy, responds to intention. It flows where there is clarity, purpose, and trust. When you align your intentions with the divine, money ceases to be an obstacle and begins to become a partner in fulfilling your mission. But for this, it's necessary to look inside and ask, how am I dealing with this energy? Am I blocking its flow through fear, old beliefs, or insecurities? The energy of money is not something to be feared or rejected. It is something to be understood and honored. When you recognize this, you begin to open doors to a prosperity that goes beyond the material, touching all areas of your life. The financial difficulties you face are not just obstacles. They are part of a spiritual training ground, designed to strengthen your soul and prepare you for a greater purpose. Imagine an athlete preparing for a major competition. They don't reach the podium without hours of training, sweat, pain, and overcoming. The chosen journey is the same. Every challenge you face is like a spiritual exercise, refining your strength, resilience, and faith. Think about gold. Before it shines in its purest form, it must be heated to extremely high temperatures, melted and purified, with all the impurities removed. In the same way, the financial struggles you are facing now are like that fire. They are not meant to destroy you, but to purify you, to reveal the strength and clarity that are within you. Every bill that seems impossible to pay, every lost opportunity, or every moment of frustration with lack is, in fact, a lesson in disguise. They ask you to look beyond the surface and ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow through this experience? The divine uses these moments to shape not only your character but also your ability to trust in the process, even when the path seems uncertain. These struggles are not permanent, they are temporary. But what you learn from them will be eternal. The patience you develop, the faith you strengthen, the creativity you discover, all of this is part of the preparation for the extraordinary destiny that awaits you. You are being trained not only to thrive but to thrive with purpose, to use your journey as a testimony of what is possible when we trust in something greater. If you look at your life now, you may find small signs of that growth. Perhaps you've learned to appreciate more of what you already have. Maybe you've discovered innovative ways to do more with less. Or perhaps you're developing a deeper compassion for others facing similar struggles. Each of these experiences is building something inside you that will be essential for the next chapter of your life. No matter how difficult it seems, know that this moment is temporary. You are being prepared, not punished. You are being strengthened, not rejected. And what is being shaped in you right now will be the foundation for everything that is to come. The beliefs we hold about money have a profound impact on how we relate to it. Many of these beliefs weren't consciously chosen. They were inherited from our parents, society, or the culture in which we grew up. They are stories we've heard so many times that they have deeply rooted themselves, shaping our perception of what is possible and what isn't. As the chosen one, you have been called to question these beliefs and rewrite them in light of the higher purpose the divine has for your life. Think about the phrases we've heard throughout life. Money is the root of all evil. Good people don't need wealth. Be humble, wealth brings arrogance. While these words may have been said with good intentions, they've created invisible barriers. They make us believe that money is something to be feared, avoided, or seen as opposite to spirituality. But are these beliefs truly aligned with the abundance that God desires for His children? God didn't create you to live in scarcity, He created you to live in fullness. Jesus said, I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. This abundance is not just spiritual, it extends to every area of your life, including your financial prosperity. But to access that fullness, you must identify and overcome the beliefs that are blocking the flow of abundance in your life. Imagine your mind as a garden. Limiting beliefs are like weeds that, if unnoticed, grow and suffocate the plants you wish to cultivate. To change your relationship with money, you must begin pulling up these weeds. Ask yourself, what do I really believe about money? Do these beliefs strengthen or limit me? Do they reflect divine truth, or are they echoes of old stories that no longer serve me? Overcoming these beliefs requires self-analysis and reprogramming. Start by observing how you react to money. Do you feel anxiety when thinking about finances? Do you feel guilty for wanting more? These emotions are signs of deep-seated beliefs that need to be examined. When you recognize a limiting belief, ask yourself, is this true? Or is it just a story I was taught to believe? Then rewrite that story based on spiritual truth. Additionally, practices like positive affirmations and visualizations can help reprogram your mind. Tell yourself, money is a tool that enables me to fulfill my purpose. I am worthy of the abundance God has prepared for me. I trust in the divine flow of provision. These words are not just declarations. They are seeds planted in your subconscious, which over time will germinate and transform your reality. Remember, changing your relationship with money is not about materialism. It's about alignment. It's about removing the blocks that prevent you from fully living the purpose you were called to. Gratitude is a transformative force. It's much more than a polite gesture or a fleeting feeling. It's a state of being that changes how we see the world and how the world responds to us. When you practice gratitude, even in the midst of scarcity, something powerful happens. You change the frequency you emit, realigning yourself with the abundance the universe and the divine have to offer. Imagine your life is like a radio tuned to a frequency. When you focus on what's lacking, your frequency vibrates with scarcity, and you feel stuck, disconnected. But when you choose to be grateful, even for the small things, even when the challenges are great, you tune into a frequency of abundance. This shift is not only internal, it resonates in the world around you, opening doors and creating opportunities that once seemed non-existent. You might be wondering, how can I be grateful when I'm facing so many difficulties? The answer lies in looking at what is already working, at what is already a gift in your life. Gratitude does not deny pain or challenges, it simply shifts the focus. Instead of concentrating on what's missing, you recognize what's present. It's like putting a new lens on your eyes, allowing you to see beauty and blessings even amidst adversity. One powerful practice is keeping a gratitude journal. Every day, write down 3 things you are thankful for. It could be something as simple as the warmth of the morning sun, the smile of a stranger, or the strength you found to face another day. These small reflections create a cumulative effect, training your mind to notice more of the positive in your life. Gratitude is also a way to activate faith. When you thank God for what you have not yet received, but believe is on its way, you demonstrate trust in the divine plan. It's like watering a plant before you see the buds emerge. You know something is growing even if you can't see it yet. This active faith attracts what you need because you are aligned with the flow of divine provision. Even in times of scarcity, gratitude can be a refuge. It reminds us that we are alive, that we have the capacity to change, that each day is a new opportunity. When you thank God for what you have, you multiply it. When you thank God for what's on its way, you accelerate the process. There are moments in your journey when God's silence feels deafening. You pray, cry out, seek answers, but all you find is emptiness. This silence can feel like abandonment, but in reality, it's preparation. It's in the silence that God works invisibly, shaping your story, strengthening your faith, and building what you cannot yet see. Think of Moses' desert. He spent 40 years in silence, away from Egypt, away from the calling that would one day place him at the helm of a nation. During that time, God did not speak directly to him as he later would on Mount Sinai. But silence did not mean absence. Moses was being prepared. The desert was not a punishment, it was a training ground. God was shaping his patience, humility, and courage so that at the right moment he could lead with wisdom and strength. So it is in your life. God's silence is not neglect or forgetfulness. It's like the interlude between scenes of a play, when the set is being rearranged backstage. You may not see what's happening, but trust that everything is being prepared for the next act. Silence is the space where faith is strengthened, where we learn to trust in God's character, not just his immediate answers. This silence is also an invitation. It's a call to deepen your relationship with God, to seek not just what he can give, but who he is. Often, God uses silence to teach us that his presence is enough, even when circumstances seem uncertain. He challenges us to find peace in the waiting, to rest in the certainty that his plan is greater than we can comprehend. Have you noticed how, on the quietest nights, the stars shine more brightly? That's how God's silence is. It creates space for his light to shine more clearly. It's in the silence that we learn to hear the soft, gentle voice that often gets lost in the hustle and bustle of daily life. It's in the silence that we realize that even when God seems distant, he's actually closer than ever. If you're facing a time of silence, remember, the desert does not last forever. It's a path, not a destination. And when the right time, the kairos, comes, God will speak in a way that will transform everything. Until then, trust the process. Trust that even in silence, he is working for your good. Detachment is one of the most challenging yet liberating steps in the spiritual journey. It's not about rejecting money or material possessions, but changing the way you relate to them. When we cling to money, believing it is the ultimate source of security, we lose sight of the true source of our provision, the divine. Detachment is an act of faith, a declaration that we trust in something much greater than temporary wealth. Imagine holding a handful of sand in your hand. The harder you grip, the more sand slips through your fingers. But if you open your hand and trust, the sand stays. The same is true with money and possessions. When we try to control them obsessively, they seem to slip away. But when we place our trust in God and live with generosity and intention, abundance flows naturally. Detachment doesn't mean abandoning money, but using it in a way that reflects our spiritual values. When you see money as a tool to fulfill your purpose and bless others, it stops being a source of anxiety and becomes a means of positive impact. It's in this space that freedom arises, the freedom to trust that as long as you're aligned with your mission, what you need will always be provided. Practicing detachment is also a way to realign your priorities. Ask yourself, what am I truly seeking? Is it aligned with the purpose God has for my life? Often, we realize that we're holding on tightly to things that, in the grand scheme of things, aren't essential. Detachment teaches us to let go of what we don't need so we can make room for what truly matters. One powerful way to practice detachment is through generosity. When you give, whether to causes that resonate with your heart or to help someone in need, you are telling the universe and God, I trust in your provision. I know that what I give with love will come back to me multiplied. Giving is not about the amount, it's about the intention. A gesture of generosity, no matter how small it seems, is an act of faith and gratitude. Detachment also teaches us to recognize that our true wealth is not in what we possess, but in who we are. Your essence, your light, your purpose. These are things money can't buy, but they have eternal value. When you live this way, material wealth ceases to be the center and becomes a natural reflection of the fullness you carry inside. The spiritual gifts you carry are not just for nourishing your soul, they are powerful tools to transform the material world. We often think there's a divide between the spiritual and the material, but for the chosen ones, this line is invisible. You were called to live in balance where your abilities, intuition, and empathy become the foundation for meaningful impact. And, yes, for prosperity aligned with your purpose. Think about empathy, for example. In an increasingly disconnected world, empathy is a rare and valuable gift. When you apply it, whether in business, personal interactions, or any project, you create a space where people feel seen and valued. This not only builds deep connections, but also opens doors to opportunities that once seemed out of reach. Empathy is more than just a feeling, it's a bridge between hearts. Now consider intuition. How many times have you felt an inner whisper guiding your decisions? This gift is no accident. It's a divine present that connects you to something greater. When you trust your intuition, it becomes a compass that guides you down paths others may not see. In the business world, for example, this intuition can help you identify opportunities, avoid pitfalls, and create something that resonates deeply with who you are and who you serve. Being chosen means that your gifts were not given by chance. They are tools to fulfill a greater purpose. And when applied to the material world, these gifts have the power to create prosperity that's not just about money but about impact. You don't have to choose between being spiritual and being successful. In fact, your financial success, when aligned with your purpose, is an extension of your spirituality. It becomes a way to serve, to create, to bless others. Practical examples of how this happens are all around us. Think of people who have turned their passions into purposeful businesses, such as artists who use their creativity to inspire, or entrepreneurs who create solutions that improve the lives of many. These people are using their gifts to bring light to the world, and the same is possible for you. When you live aligned with your calling, your prosperity becomes inevitable because it is a reflection of the harmony between who you are and what you do. However, this prosperity is not about accumulation, it's about flow. It's about allowing what you receive to circulate, blessing others, and at the same time, returning to you in unexpected ways. Money, when combined with purpose, is not just a resource, it is a catalyst for good. No one is destined to walk alone. The strength of your journey doesn't come solely from your individual connection with the divine, but also from the people he places around you. Community is a spiritual gift, a space where faith, hope, and purpose multiply. When you connect with those who share similar values, your light not only strengthens but also inspires others to discover theirs. Think of the early church described in the Acts of the Apostles. Those first followers of Christ didn't just pray together, they shared everything they had. Those who had more helped those who had less, and no one was in need. This model of community wasn't just about survival, it was about shared prosperity. They understood that abundance grows when shared, that true wealth lies in supporting one another and building together. For the chosen, community is more than a social circle. It is a field of spiritual energy. When you connect with others who are aligned with your purpose, you feel the strength that comes from not being alone in your struggles and dreams. These people don't just support you, they also challenge you to grow, to push beyond your limits, and to stay firm when the journey gets tough. Consider Moses' story again. During the battle against the Amalekites, Moses held his staff high, and as long as his hands were raised, the Israelite army prevailed. But when he grew tired, his hands fell, and the battle started to turn against them. It was then that Aaron and Hur stood by him, holding his hands up until the battle was won. This image is a powerful reminder that even the strongest need support, and that's what community offers: sustenance in times of fatigue. But community is also an opportunity to give, not just to receive. You have something unique to offer, an experience, a skill, a word of encouragement. When you share this, you not only strengthen others but also find renewal for your own journey. Giving and receiving are two sides of the same coin, and both are essential for a life of purpose. To build a community that amplifies your light, it's important to be intentional. Seek out people who share not only your beliefs, but also your willingness to grow, learn, and support one another. Find moments to gather, whether in prayer, reflection, or in projects that bring collective meaning. And be willing to be vulnerable, to share your struggles and victories, because it's in authenticity that true connections bloom. The concept of success that the world promotes often seems empty, disconnected from what truly matters. For many, success is defined by status, accumulated wealth, or visible achievements. But for the chosen, success is something much deeper. It's not just about what you accomplish, but who you become along the journey. It's about living aligned with purpose, impacting lives, and finding peace amid chaos. Imagine a traveler who, upon reaching the top of a mountain, realizes that the view isn't what they expected. They feel empty because they climbed the wrong mountain, following someone else's definition of success. The chosen, however, are called to climb a different mountain, one that resonates with their essence and purpose. For you, true success is not about how many trophies you collect, but about how much light you spread along the way. Success, for the chosen, is harmony. It's living in balance between your spiritual life and material accomplishments. It's knowing that you can prosper financially without compromising your integrity. It's understanding that your achievements are not just for you, but to be used as tools to serve others and fulfill your divine purpose. Think of Joseph, sold into slavery by his own brothers, unjustly imprisoned, but eventually becoming the governor of Egypt. To the world, he seemed like a failure in many moments of his life. But Joseph knew he was living out a bigger plan, even when he couldn't see the end of the story. His true wealth wasn't in the position he held, but in the faithfulness with which he lived his purpose at each stage of his life. Redefining success means asking yourself, what really matters to me? Is it the approval of others, or is it the peace that comes from living an authentic life? Is it accumulating material wealth, or is it knowing that you used your gifts to make a difference in the world? When you align with the answer to these questions, success stops being something you chase and becomes something you live. This new view of success also redefines wealth. It's not just the money in your account, but the connections you create, the impact you make, and the joy you feel knowing you are on the right path. When you live this way, material prosperity becomes a consequence, not the goal. And more importantly, you find true peace, the kind that comes from knowing your life has meaning. The journey of the chosen can be compared to a river, flowing toward its final destination. At first, it's small, maybe just a stream of water flowing from a hidden source. But as it moves forward, it encounters rocks, diversions, and obstacles that seem insurmountable. However, the river never stops. It navigates, carves, penetrates, and eventually overcomes everything in its path. So it is with your journey. The challenges are not barriers to stop you, but to shape the way, strengthening your resolve and clarifying your purpose. Now think of money as the wind. It is invisible, but you can feel its presence. When the sails of your life are set correctly, the wind propels them, moving you forward. But if you fight against the wind, trying to control it or resist its flow, progress becomes difficult. The chosen learn to work with the wind, adjusting their sails to capture its force while staying anchored in faith and trust. Another powerful metaphor is that of the Chinese bamboo. For years, the bamboo appears to grow not at all. All it does is create deep roots in the soil. It is preparing, strengthening its foundation. And then, almost overnight, it grows impressively, reaching incredible heights. Your journey may seem like this at times, as if nothing is happening, as if your efforts are in vain. But know this, your roots are deepening, your soul is strengthening. And when the right time comes, your growth will be inevitable and surprising. These metaphors teach us that the spiritual and material journey of the chosen ones is not linear. It is full of highs and lows, moments of waiting and bursts of progress. And at each stage there are lessons to be learned. The stones in the river teach patience and creativity. The wind teaches flexibility and trust. And the bamboo teaches the importance of building a solid foundation before reaching great heights. By incorporating these images into your life, you begin to see your challenges differently. They cease to be burdens and become part of the divine dance. You realize you're not standing still, you're in a constant process of transformation. Each stone, each wind, each root is contributing to the great story that God is writing through you. The balance between spirituality and material abundance is like a bridge connecting two seemingly opposite worlds. Often, We are led to believe that we must choose between the spiritual path and the pursuit of prosperity. But for the chosen ones, this choice is not necessary. God doesn't want you to just survive. He wants you to thrive, so your life becomes an expression of divine abundance and an instrument to bless others. Imagine a bird. It doesn't just sing, it also flies, feeds itself, and builds its nest. It doesn't choose between fully living its spiritual essence and taking care of its material needs. Both coexist harmoniously because they were designed to do so. Similarly, your journey as the chosen one is designed to integrate the spiritual and the material. This harmony allows you to experience a life that is not only rich in possessions but also in meaning. Balance starts with the understanding that money is not the final goal but a tool. It is an expression of the energy flowing through your life, a reflection of how aligned you are with your purpose. When you connect deeply with who you are and what you were called to do, prosperity begins to flow naturally. It's not a desperate chase but a consequence of living in alignment. Spiritual practices can help you maintain this balance. Start with specific prayers for financial wisdom. Ask God not only for resources but also for clarity on how to use them. Meditate on verses that speak of abundance and provision, such as Philippians 4 verse 19. And my God will supply all your needs according to his glorious riches in Christ Jesus. These words are not just promises, they are invitations to trust and act in faith. Additionally, create financial habits aligned with your spiritual values. Ask yourself, am I using my money in a way that reflects who I am and what I believe? Give to causes that touch your heart. Invest in projects that contribute to the greater good. Spend in a way that brings joy, not just temporary satisfaction. The balance between spirituality and abundance is not just about how much you earn, but how you use what you have. Also, remember that balance requires flexibility. There will be times when your focus is more on the material, such as building a solid financial foundation. At other times, you will be called to dive deeper into the spiritual. Both are necessary and neither diminishes the other. Trust that, as long as you remain connected to the divine, your choices will be aligned with the greater plan for your life. You've come this far because there is something greater happening in your life. Every challenge, every moment of doubt, and every victory is part of the purpose that is being revealed in you. The struggles you face are not punishments. They are tools shaping you for a destiny that goes beyond what your eyes can see. As the chosen one, your journey is special, unique, and full of meaning. Remember this: you are not just facing difficulties, you are being shaped to fulfill a divine purpose. What seems like a season of scarcity, silence, or waiting is, in fact, preparation for something extraordinary. You are being refined, strengthened, and aligned with God's plan. Nothing you've experienced has been in vain, and the best is yet to come. Now is the time to reflect. How do you see your financial journey? Do you see it as a burden or as an invitation to grow? If this message has touched your heart, it is because you are ready to view your struggles in a new light, not as an end but as a beginning. A beginning for a deeper relationship with God, a clearer vision of your purpose, and an openness to the abundance waiting for you. I invite you to comment, what did this message awaken in you? Your story could inspire others just as this message was a reminder for you. Share your reflections, your dreams, and even your struggles. We are stronger together, and your light can ignite the flame of hope in someone who needs it. If this message has brought clarity, encouragement, or renewed your faith, share it. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and send this word to those you feel need to hear it. The world is full of people facing silent battles, and a simple message can be the turning point they've been waiting for. Remember, you are chosen. Your journey is important, and you are exactly where you are meant to be. God has not finished writing your story. Trust the process because what is being prepared for you is greater than you can imagine. The best is yet to come. We'll see you in the next message. May God bless you abundantly.